Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. During a weekday, we monk and nun in the temple have a group discussion, and after the discussion, this week discussion, one of our monk guest monk, have share his idea that during the discussion, some of the question asking about some detail of the Buddhist story, but some question go beyond the purpose of the story, like how it happened, that happened. But the purpose of the story is to teach us to withdraw the lesson from that and to apply to our life, not to know too much detail in the story. That's why he shared that sometimes the thing we focus on the Buddhist story is go beyond that, and it is not necessary. So that's why that idea is really nice, and that's why I have today's topic, be trained carefully. It's similar to in the time of the Buddha. There are also in the Anguttara Nikaya, the numerical discourse, the collection of numerical discourse. The Buddha talked about there are two kind of assembly. So some assembly, they are trained in vain talk. It means that they talk something nonsense, and a kind of bad training. But the other one, and not into detail, not interrogation, not trained with asking, with inquiry, with question. And the other one is not in vain talk and with a lot of question. So how to understand that? So the group who is trained in vain talk, whatever kind of discourse spoken by. So we have the discourse spoken by the Buddha that is really deep in by using the word. He using the word in the discourse deep in the meaning, and it bring a lot of benefit through his word in the discourse. And with some of the discourse help us to go beyond the word, to go out of the samsara, the cycle of rebirth. And the discourse is not connect with any self, it's a non-self, and help us a lot for our life. But for such kind of discourse taught by the Buddha, this kind of assembly, they don't want to listen to them. They don't want to let their ear listen to them. They don't want to apply their mind to understand them. Not ready to understand that such kind of discourse, because they think that those teachings should not be studied, should not be understood thoroughly. Why is that? Because the thing is boring. Because the Buddha talk is just by that is boring. But whatever kind of discourse remade, original no one they don't want, but remade one they want, because such kind of discourse they remade with poetry, by the poetry, by the artist, and make it become a song, become a poet with beautiful word, beautiful sentence, phrases, various kind of word, good melody, good rhythm, and composed by the outsider and spoken by the disciple of the outsider. So such kind of discourse, they want to listen to them. They want to let the ear listen to them. They want to apply their mind to try to understand them, because they feel satisfied with various way of using word, using phrases, rhythm, melody. And for such kind of assembly, after they try to understand them already, they learn them thoroughly already, they not get together and interrogate each other, inquire each other, question each other, examine thoroughly what those discourse, what those teaching talk about. And they don't ask like the meaning of this discourse, the meaning of this teaching, the connection of those teaching, the order before and after those teaching. And they not go beyond that. They did not ask each other that how should we understood this word, how should we understood these phrases, and how which way we should apply to understand these phrases, this kind of discourses. They don't talk each other about that, but they just like the way it smoothly rhythm, melody, beautiful word, and enjoy such kind of thing like that. That's why this kind of group is called Train in Vain Talk. And because of that, they did not disclose what is obscure. They not understand, open the hidden meaning by using the beautiful word like that. And they not understand clearly the teaching about. So because of that, they don't get any benefit from the teaching of the Buddha. That is the group of Vain Talk. So talk about this kind of group. Nowadays, I don't know in the U.S. or in the Western culture, Western Buddhism, they have some kind of problem. But in Asia, especially Vietnamese, a lot of things happen like that. People don't like to read the discourse of the Buddha original text because it's boring. Just word and repeat again and again. But they love to listen to the song discourse, can we say like that, or with a poem, beautiful word, but doesn't carry a lot of meaning in that, because the poem, they need to use word and to make it become rhythm, and because of that, the meaning it dropped from the word, the original text. Or somebody, they based on the story written in the commentary, but they create it and they remade it become a novel. It's really beautiful, but it's far away from the original story, from the main idea of the Buddha. A lot of things happen like that. And one time, one nun, she asked me about a discourse, original text. So I gave her the original book. But then after she returned the book to me, I asked, can you summarize the discourse you just read? And she cannot do that. And she gave an excuse that the discourse is so boring. It repeat again and again. It's so hard for me. Something like that. So I wonder that, so did she really truly read the discourse or just want to borrow the book on like that? Because in the time of the Buddha, if you read the original text, you will see that in the text that the Buddha repeats something again and again. Because in the time of the Buddha, there's no written book. He need to do that to let us understand and remember thoroughly what he teach. But if you deny that, so are you really the disciple of the Buddha or not? Are you really want to understand the teaching of the Buddha or not? And nowadays, talk about that nowadays, a lot of preacher, social media preacher, that they try to quote a lot of quote from famous meditation teacher, famous preacher, but they forget that original one is from the Buddha. They forget about that. So on the other side, the other group is different. This kind of assembly trained in interrogation, not in vain talk. This kind of assembly, wherever discourse is being make it remade by the poet with beautiful word, beautiful phrases, they don't want to listen to them. They don't want to lend an ear to them. They don't want to apply their mind to them, and they don't think that such kind of discourse, such kind of teaching, should be understand, should be studied, should be learned thoroughly. But whatever discourse spoke by the Buddha, in deep meaning, word transcending, connect with benefit. So they want to listen to them. They want to lend an ear to them. They want to apply their mind to them. And after they study and learn thoroughly, they met each other and they question about what they have learned, what they have studied, what kind of what meaning of this teaching, what meaning of this discourse, which way we should apply to understand this teaching, this discourse, and how we connect those teaching, and what is order of the teaching, something like that. So they try to understand thoroughly the discourse or the teaching they read, and because of that, they will understand clearly what the Buddha talked about, not just read the whole book. So the second one, the second assembly, the Buddha praised this kind of group. So one time in the Udana, there one time the Buddha sat in Chetavana in the darkness. So while the oil lamp were burning, so many moths, the kind of small insect, flying around the oil lamp and then falling down into the lamp. So showing that, the Buddha expressed his sentiment that running beyond, they miss the essence, then cause more and more newborns. Like flying insects falling into the lamp, some have become fixed and fell into what is seen or what is heard. So some of us is like that. We just go beyond what is necessary for us, and we miss the essence. So the essence of this teaching, of the Buddha's teaching, is morality, concentration, wisdom, liberation from the cycle of rebirth. It's the essence of Buddhism. And to understand, comprehending the Four Noble Truths. But sometimes we approach the essence, we approach the teaching of the Buddha, but we don't focus on such thing. We focus on something else. Ritual, song, chanting, etc. Go beyond that. And sometimes we create more and more newborns. Like we believe that this is right, and other thing is wrong. And we attach more and more grasping to our body, to the five aggregate of clinging. We think that this is right, and we think that this body is beautiful, is permanent, there are self in there, etc. So that's why we run. That's why there's a saying that running beyond and miss the essence and cause more and more newborns. Just like the moth falling into the lamp. Because we don't really understand the teaching like the first group. They just read and don't discuss and cannot clearly understand the teaching of the Buddha. So they just see what they see and hear what they hear. Maybe they hear what they hear from the tradition, from someone else, and they not verify what they hear, not verify what they see. So that they believe in the wrong way, and it's not the Buddha teaching. And they believe that it is truly the Buddha teaching. And because of that, they cannot escape from the samsara, from the three state of existence, and they be burned by 11 kind of fire of defilement, just like the insect fall into the fire of the flame. Some of us, we come to the teaching of the Buddha and we think that we have learned so many things enough, we practice enough, and we grasping, clinging to what we believe. So we just like those insects. Somebody tried to practice meditation not so long time ago when we have the discussion. So one yogi talked to us that when she tried to practice meditation, she know breathing in, breathing out, or the falling and the rising and falling of the abdomen. She know that. So that's her object of meditation. And she said, yeah, I try to do that, but I feel boring. So I asked her, so how you feel, how the rising is, how the falling is, or how the breath in and out? And she said, I just know it in and out only. I don't know how it in and out. So in the same way, we try to practice, but we not focus into the essence. We just we miss the essence in that way. Some people they just believe whatever the elders say, and this is not right too. We should verify what. One time we monk have in a dining room. We monk in the dining room, and one elder talked to us that I don't praise, I don't accept that the people should leave their shoe when they go to the Swedagon Pagoda. So in Myanmar, Burma, they have the really big stupa called Swedagon. It's like a sacred place for the Buddhist devotee in Myanmar. So everybody, when you go to the stupa, you have to remove your shoe, your slipper, out of respect to the Buddhist statue. So that monk, that elder, he said, it should not do like that. I don't agree with that. So I wonder, did he know the reason why the people should remove their shoe and the slipper? First, out of respect to the Buddha. And the second one, because they read the commentary on how the king Bimbisara, he be cut his feet. So in a lesson like 2 weeks ago, I talked about a king called Bimbisara. He's been killed by his son, like cut his feet and apply with oil and salt and let it burn, let it feeling the heat by the fire. So the commentary have one sentence said that he have to pay back the bad consequence because he used to go in the stupa area with arrogant mind and try to keep his shoe on. And because of that, so the Buddhist devotee, especially the Theravada Buddhist devotee, they don't want to have that bad karma and out of respect to the Buddha. That's why they remove the slipper and the shoe when they go to the stupa area. So I wonder that monk, he's elder, he's an old monk, and he's have long time in the time Buddhism, but what he learned. So you should be careful. Whatever you heard from someone, even he's an elder monk, should verify what you hear. And some people nowadays, especially we have social media, a lot of people have a lot of quote of famous teacher. Few weeks ago, a nun shared in their status of a quote from a famous meditation teacher, Vietnamese meditation teacher. And I read that and we try to understand what they talk about, because they said, it is said that the mind is impermanent, so it try to become something new. So when it experience something permanent, something really peaceful, it will not moving around anymore. So I wonder that. So the Buddha talking about impermanence, while you talk about something permanent, it's against the Buddha word, the Buddha saying. So that's why I have the picture here. It's my idea, not in the discourse. Can you imagine what kind of animal it is? What does it look like? It's look like a bat, but the bat with the decoration is look like a tiger, right? With a strike like a tiger. So actually, they try to mix. So sometimes we are a tiger, a son of the tiger, children of the tiger, but we don't know that we are children of the tiger, and we act like a bat. In the same way, we think that we are follower of the Buddha, but actually we're not really the follower of the Buddha. So in the same way, when we claim that ourselves, that we try to understand the Buddha teaching, we are the follower of the Buddha, so we should understand his teaching thoroughly, not direct to him, not through anyone else. We should verify everything we heard or we learn from. I want to share one story written in the Jataka, the former rebirth story of the Buddha. So there a mother deer. She brought her son to her brother, is the uncle, because there's a newborn deer, and he need to learn how to a very kind of trick to learn how to survive as a deer. And the nephew really respect his uncle and try to learn hard. When he at the time of the study, he came to learn at the right time and learn very well all the technique on the trick of the deer. So one time, he fell into the trap of the hunter and cannot come back. And the mother deer really worry, and try to talk to the uncle that how can we help him? How can we help him? He cannot go back because he will trapped by the hunter. So the uncle deer said that, oh, okay, don't worry. He believed that the nephew learned all the technique, all the trick of the deer, and he will survive. Don't worry about that. He's sure about that. So the young deer, when he's been caught in the snare, he not try to struggle, not try to moving. He just lay down full length of his body, and he tried to make his body cover with grass and dust, and then he let his head fall down, and with the tongue go out, and he also pee pee poo poo at the same place, and because of that, he tried to make his stomach become bigger. And when you look at from outside, I think like this deer already died a long time ago. And because of that, the what is called the blue bottle follow him, or even the crowd settle around him. The crow settled around him, and the hunter sawing that, and they thought that, oh, this deer is dead, but they gone bad really fast, so we should cook him here. Cannot move back home, so they lift off the trap and try to figure out gather the stick and leave out in that area to cook him. But immediately at that time, the young deer rose from his feet and run really fast back to his mother. So the Buddha said in the story, that the young deer is Rahula, his son in this present life, and the uncle is him, the Buddha. But in the story, what we learn from the story, that that he's the deer, and he should learn all the technique, all the trick of the deer to survive. And because he respect his teacher, learn really well, thoroughly, understand thoroughly, and know how to apply in the real life so that he can help himself when he's in danger. So in the same way, we are proud of, we are the Buddhist follower, we understand the Buddha teaching, we practice the Buddha teaching, but we should learn thoroughly, understand thoroughly, and then one day when we in need, we will put it into practice and help ourselves in the danger, because we don't know what will happen in our life. Sometimes we face a difficult situation, and at that moment, the teaching of the Buddha will help us. And if we're not ready for that, we will be sink down, will be burned, just like the small insect into the lamp. So try to train ourselves carefully in the teaching of the Buddha. Should not just believe the outsider when it become a song or poem, and try to understand thoroughly, verify whatever you hear or you see. Thank you for your listening.
Okay, we have few time to discuss about today's lesson. Talk about missing the essence. I just want to add a few things. As you know, there's a guided meditation around here, very popular now these days. And a lot of people come to the temple when they heard that we have a meditation group here, and they ask what type of meditation and all that. And they also ask if there's a guided meditation. But I told them that we don't do guided meditation here, and my personal recommendation that shouldn't do guided meditation. And I tell you why. The reason we meditate here is we need to develop this mind concentration. And when our mind concentration established, we can see, the defilement of the problem clearer. So that's very important that we need to focus on our object of meditation and, bit by bit establish. But if you are to sit and meditate and listen someone else's voice and follow their voice, you might, if that guide, if that person have good voice or soothing voice, then you might feel a little bit relaxed and all that, but you will miss the purpose. You might not get mind concentration. And if you don't have mind concentration, you have a lot of defilement and suffering will rise, right? That's why I don't recommend guided meditation in that way. And also, one person might come to appreciate guidance while meditating, while other in the big group, some people don't like to listen to someone else talking all the time when they meditate. So it's going to be a distraction. So rather than you just sit and focus on the in-breath and out, whatever the object of meditation that you have, and settle your mind, settle your body, and get the concentration, you focus on something else, like soothing, either music or someone else's voice, or be conditioned or dependent on someone else, and you miss the whole purpose. That's why sometimes when we meditate, we thought this is the right way, but we forgot what meditation is. A lot of people didn't know that and didn't see the importance of it. But once you have mind concentration, there's a whole lot more to it, a whole lot more benefit to it. You might get a little bit relaxed, same as you would listen to music, the raining sound, the dropping, the water dripping, or whatever that make your mind soothe or calm. Then it's not really meditation at all. Meditation is to develop mind concentration. In one mind concentration, you will feel, happy, relaxed. The reason you don't feel happy, relaxed is because your mind is agitated all the time. That's why you need to meditate. You need to calm. You have your mind settle. When the mind settle, everything will be more positive. But you rely on someone else, you might get some benefit, short benefit, like calm your mind. But then the long term, you don't get any of it. You don't get anything out of it. More importantly, meditation eventually, especially Vipassana, insight meditation, develop insight for you to have wisdom to see the problem, to avoid or to solve. The reason why we feel we suffer because we don't understand the problem. That's how we get tangled into it, and then we get trapped in it. We get bonded, all that. Now we meditate to develop this insight, to see the problem and overcome it. That's the whole purpose of meditation, not to help you to relax. So if anything that like music, soothing voice, or whatever that, sound or eye and all that, then it's not really meditation in Buddhist perspective. Okay? I tell you another story that I come across one of we call yogi in meditation. We call yogi. Yogi is a person who practiced meditation. So anyway, we call her yogi. Yogi. One time she came and practiced, and usually after the practice, we often sit down and discuss about our progress. So I asked her progress, how she has been doing. And she told me that previously she learned from a meditation technique or from a meditation teacher that to develop this positive thinking of herself and others by when she do walking meditation, she just imagine or contemplating that every step that she walked, there will be flower blooming on her feet, and when she sees someone smile, flower will blossom into their feet. So she feel very happy. She feel very positive when she look at people, or when she walks. She feel very happy because flowers will be everywhere, like that. So I asked her, really? So did you really see your movement of your foot? You see your mind? You see how your mind concentration? She said, no, but I feel very happy. Every step I move, there's flower. But then she fooled herself because there's no flower under her feet. It's just imaginary, right? So you think that make you happy. That is very dangerous because illusional. Secondly, you are not focusing on your object of meditation. When you do walking meditation, you should focus on your steps. You will tune out all of the object for the moment and focus on your step. When you focus on your step, lifting, putting down, to the point that you develop this mind concentration. And that's how you settle your mind, settle your body. That's how you feel happy, how you feel clarity. Same as you would sit, you will focus on your in-breath and out-breath. That's the focus of the meditation, not something, illusional, like that. So a lot of people, yes, go ahead.
Judgment towards what you're doing, right? So it's like, oh, this is a beautiful thing that I'm doing, instead of just accepting for what it is. It's just putting your foot on the ground, and that's it. You don't need to add all these extra things in your mind, because then what if one day you put your foot and you imagine dead flowers and then you suffering, right?
Exactly. There you go.
So it's more just accepting things for what it is without having a judgment, whether it's saying this is good or this is bad. This is just simply what's happening at this moment.
Exactly.
Meditation is not Vipassana meditation. It's something else. Meditate something else. Not Vipassana meditation. Vipassana is to accept for what it is, the reality of it. When you step on the ground, you feel the hotness, you feel the temperature. You know, if it's warm day, you might feel the warmth on the ground. If it's a cold day, you will feel the cold. You will feel the softness, the stickiness, you know, whatever that you feel. And that's the fact, because that's the reality. And when you understand it, eventually you develop this insight that you see, that's the reality. That is the truth about all things. And a lot of things you can't change. You just have to accept it to be happy, rather than fool yourself or imagine yourself as something else, rather than deny yourself, oh, no, that's not it. It's just my imagination. What you feel, flower blooming on your feet, is imaginary. It's not something real, right? Yeah, you know, step on the dead flower, or maybe you have a bad day, a bad mood, that you don't see flower blowing anymore. You might see something else, right? So it's very dangerous. And same way with the flower bloom on someone else smiling. What if that day you have a bad day, or what if someone else says something that you don't like? The flower wilted in in his or her smile, right? How can you have the beautiful flower blooming in that person's mind when that person upset you? So I don't think that is so illusional, and it's not real, and it's very dangerous. And whoever come up with these techniques is very bad, because you just fool people. Yeah, it seemed like a good idea to begin with, that positive thinking. But if you call this is the Buddha teaching, are you a Buddhist monk, a Buddhist teacher? Then that's dangerous. You are actually sabotaging, you know, the true teaching. Yeah. So I don't encourage that. So I taught her that, no, you shouldn't do that. She said, oh, I've been doing it for many years. It makes me very happy. I said, okay, keep it and don't come here, because that's how I taught. You know, because I don't want she go out and tell, oh, she came to Santivana Buddhist Assembly. This is how she learned. No, this is not what we taught. So I tell her, if you come here, you practice someone else's technique, then I don't encourage you to come. If you come here, you have to learn the technique that we taught here. You know, we teach here. So anyway, she didn't come back. Anyway, so she appreciated the flower more, so she didn't come back. But I just want to let you know that there's technique like that out there. And sometimes it's because of, you know, you like beautiful thing like that, and you come to, you know, to embrace it. You don't know the danger behind it. Yes, Vipassana meditation or insight meditation can be very cut and dry and boring. But that's how it is. You need to face the fact. Not everything in life is so beautiful. But when you get beyond that, when you understand the technique, there's a whole treasure hidden, you know, waiting for you to be discovered. Yeah? So, yeah, from the beginning, it seemed to be boring, like just sit there and follow your in-breath and out-breath, and not to move when you're very achy, you know, very, you know, tired, and not to pay attention to sound, even though it's a beautiful sound from the bird. You don't, you know, don't get to listen to it, just acknowledge it and come back. Yeah, it sounds so boring to begin with. But when you go beyond that step, then you see how beautiful, how serene, how calm, how happy you are, you know, in your mind. You got to go beyond all that, you know, all that difficulty for you to see the result. And the long term, you develop this insight, and you will see the true nature of it, and not to be bothered and have all this negative feeling in you. Yeah, that's why we want you to focus on the essence, not the whatever, you know, outside. Like what he said, you know, sometimes the reality, it seems to be not so attractive to begin with, but you need to go beyond it to see more of it. Yeah, yeah.
We try hard to make things more pleasant than they are. Eventually, it causes suffering, because flowers aren't actually flowers, but you're just walking. So eventually, you're going to come to the realization that that's not real, and then it will cause you suffering.
And then disappointed.
And disappointment.
And then more suffering comes.
So that's the delusion part, because if you think things are differently than the way they really are, it eventually will cause suffering. But learning to accept things for as they as they are without saying this is good or this is bad. It's just simply the way it is.
The reason we suffer is we have wrong understanding, wrong view, wrong understanding. So as we meditate, that's how we come to the temple to learn the teaching of the Buddha, to understand the right understanding, the right view. But then again, you come to the temple, you want to learn what the Buddha is teaching, but you add wrong view on top of it. You make things more complicated, more, things worse. So what is it? It defeats the purpose, right? So I know there's a lot of teachers use a lot of method way to guide, to get people be more interested, because I know people have the tendency to love beautiful things, listen to beautiful sound, and all that thing. But you need to tell them the truth, the fact of it. One thing about the Buddha, the reason why insight meditation discourages you to have anything to do with like beautiful sound, beautiful thing, is because we have the tendency, because of craving, we have the tendency to attach to it, grasp on it, and don't let go. And because of that, it causes suffering. So insight meditation to help you to minimize it. That's why when you practice meditation, you're not allowed to listen to music, not allowed to put on makeup or decorate yourself, because those kind of things that promote more craving and make the practice more difficult. That's why, we have this rule that we promise to bind, not to do that. But if you introduce all that in, you just defeat the purpose. Yeah. One time when I was in DC, I came to one of the Sri Lankan temple, and the Sri Lankan temple is the Theravada tradition, Buddhist tradition. And I was so dismayed that I saw people sitting in the main hall in front of the Buddha statue, hugging each other. Man and woman hugging each other, like rocking back and forth like this. Like, what's going on in the Buddhist temple main hall? There's couple hugging and rocking each other back and forth like this. And so I asked the head monk there, I said, what's going on in your main hall? He said, oh yeah, they're meditating. I'm like, what? Meditating? What kind of meditation? Hugging meditation. So I say, wouldn't that defeat the whole purpose? The whole purpose, touching, promote more craving, sensual desire. The more sensual desire, it lead to suffering later. But this meditation teacher come up with the hugging because the Western love hugging, right? So love hugging. So they develop this kind of hugging and attract a lot of people, of course, So people want to practice Buddhism at the same time. They don't want to let go of all of this thing that initially caused more suffering. They don't want to let go. They want to do everything, singing and dancing and hugging and things like that. So insight meditation, especially the true practice, would discourage this kind of activity because it promotes sense of desire and, put on more hardship to the practice. So there you go. Defeat the purpose. You go there to learn to be free from this kind of suffering, but at the same time, you bind yourself deeper or harder into it. So that defeat the purpose. You miss the ascent. You run so fast, you miss the ascent. Right? Just like the what you call the light bird, the insect that run into the flame and die and burn and die. Moth, okay, just like the moth. The light is supposed to give you light to guide you, but then again, you get attracted to it and then you die in it. So that's why there's a lot of things that not so appealing. Buddhism practice sometimes not so appealing to a lot of people because we have to let go a lot of stuff, a lot of good things that we like. But when suffering comes, they want to go to the temple, practice meditation to be free from this kind of suffering. But then at the same time, they don't want to let go the thing that caused all of this trouble. So what's the purpose like that? So that's why we should know what we're doing. We should know who we are. We should do the right thing to get the right result. a lot of people who come to Santivana Buddhist Assembly to practice meditation, and they don't want to keep it up because it seems boring and they don't understand the whole technique. That's why they give up so early and they don't get the result. So that's a shame, because insight meditation requires you to be not only consistent but persistent. Consistent, you come here, regularly. Persistent, you have to overcome all the boring or all the thing that's like all the pain and all the all the boring to begin with. So just like someone who get addicted to substance, so they meditate, so they overcome the desire, the craving, and they're the living proof now. So it works, right? You need to have persistence to overcome. Otherwise, it's useless. And inside meditation, traditionally, we don't tell you what in advance so much. We just want you to practice, and then the teacher follow you and guide you and see how you progress bit by bit, and then help you to encourage you more or untangle the problem that you have. But we don't want to tell you so much in advance that hinder your practice, hinder the progress. Yeah. Do you have any questions with today's practice? With today's lessons, it's just a reminder that you should focus on your asana. And now you understand why I don't encourage guided meditation here. Yeah. Any questions? Today we have Mark. He's new. So, you practiced before?
Yeah, I guess you
Oh, you did? Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I completely understand what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. And, guided meditation also requires a person to have a very good voice, like scratchy voice like me, or, accent like me
would really, tick people off. I don't think they will have subtle mind with it. So I don't recommend that. And also you become dependent. You become dependent to that. Without the voice, you can't meditate. Without the music, you can't meditate. So, that's another drawback that guided meditation. Not mentioned about missing the focus on the object of meditation and develop this mind concentration. Yeah. So, with the hugging meditation is I think is so bad. Some of the when you go to meditation in Myanmar, they not only they don't hug, but they separate the quarter between the man and the woman. To be a part of each other. So that way we just less focus on the objects that hinder your progress. Yeah. Okay. If we don't have any questions, we can wrap it up early. Go ahead.
Yes. Actually, if you focus on this
way, you can develop mind concentration. But will there be right mind concentration or not is a different story. Sometimes you listen to the drop of the water. If you just focus on just the dropping of the water, you might develop some kind of mind meditation, mind concentration. But will that be with the greedy mind, angry mind, all that? If it's with angry mind or greedy mind, then it's not right concentration. And whatever is not the right concentration, it will lead to suffering because a lot of craving, a lot of anger. So back then, before the Buddha time, samatha meditation is already exists. People focus on an object to the point that they and the object into one, incorporate into one, and that's how they observe. They enter jhana and all of that thing, right? But then again, you are not breaking the bondage, the bondage of the suffering. You still go through the cycle of rebirth. You are not, free from it yet. You just temporarily, suppressed it. So that's why the Buddha realized it, and he abandoned that practice and then moved on. And eventually he changed to insight meditation, and he got enlightened. So back then, there's so many techniques that people, 100% focus on the object and completely tune out everything else, and then they will attain absorption, which is the jhana. But in insight meditation, it's different. We also develop mind concentration, but we shift our object of meditation, so that way we can learn and understand, and that's how we develop insight. And because of the insight, we get enlightenment like that. So, dropping of the water, or listen to the rain and things like that. Just completely focus on it. You also have some level of mind concentration, of course. If you focus on an object, completely focus on, like tune out completely everything out and just concentrate on that object, you might consider that samatha. But what will you do beyond the mind concentration? That's a different technique too. But because samatha, I can't say all this kind of, focus is samatha. But to begin with, it seems like samatha. Okay, tranquility meditation. Someone don't know the Bali word. Yeah. So it depends on which teacher you choose. If you choose to follow the step of the Buddha, then follow his guides. If you, some other religions, they also have meditation too, but they have different focus, different purpose. Yeah. So,
Do you want to be a tiger or you want to be a bat?
don't mix the two. Yeah. Actually, it's not. Yeah, it's the clever from the teacher. Some teacher can use, whatever the Buddha teaching, but the way he explained it, skillful explained it. We cannot just to use something else and have the meaning, the Buddha teaching behind it. You have to teach bluntly like that, but it rely on the skill of the teacher to convey for the for the generation to understand. It's not about the generation, because the Buddha teaching is timeless. It just, you understand what I mean? Like, it depends on the skill of the person who explained it. Yeah, and we discourage the method of using something that some other method, a media or whatever, to get people in, and then when they got in, get into it, you can, like peel up the onion or whatever, like lure them in, and then that's how you brainwash them. I think like I don't trust that, because the moment that you use of all of this, as you call media, the technique to get them in, it's very hard to get them out of it. You know what I mean? Once they're in, you just like snowball, you just follow through it. You can't get out of it. If you get out of it, they would like say, "Oh, you lied to me all this time," thing like that. So I don't encourage that. So for what we taught here, we taught them bluntly like that. But we try to explain it to to people as much as we can. If it's too advanced, then we lower our standard. If it's we lower to the point, and to that point, they don't understand. We say, okay, just take time. Just stick with it. Take time. We don't insult people like, oh, you're so dumb or stupid. You to understand this is too advanced. No, we have to explain to the point that, lower your standard to the point that they understand. If they cannot understand, we run out of technique, run out of method, then we say, okay, just take your time, just follow your breathing right now and bit by bit. Because we believe that if you practice insight meditation, eventually insight will be developed and then you understand more. We believe in that. So we don't discourage, we don't chase people away if they don't understand. They just go away by themselves. Okay? Yeah. All right. I think we have about enough time. So we just do some chanting and sharing merit. So just a reminder again, when you practice more at home, you just pay attention to your progress, and you can always come back and ask before we start our lesson around noon, how you are progressing and how difficult, what is your difficulty. So I can help you bit by bit so that you can do more at home. And also one thing, sorry, I noticed that you, Jordan and Mark, you wear tight pants. Sometimes when you wear tight pants, it's difficult to sit on the floor because of the tight clothes that which construct your circulation. So it helps. Okay.